Really play Dust2. I do know that Spirit do, and they play it all right. Overtimes against FaZe, victories one-sided against Imperial, Eternal Fire, G2 had to take them to overtime to beat them. Like, we're talking about a really good Dust2 team here. For 00Nation, this will not be easy if it's even possible in the first place. Pistol round, util for Lato, defuse kit for Tackle with a double flash, Siren and Chopper with the util set execution. They have the smoke stand towards Xbox, and they hold their line up top mid.
Even try to prod around to getting an opening pick. Does get flashed off angle and might think about double dipping.
Oh, it was a bit scary for a moment. If they popped out dry, it would have been a dead man in an instant. See several players out there behind the barrels. And does his damage to his credit. Wonderful one, Siren, now to 34 and 65. Chopper leaning in first and foremost. Patsi, however, gets the opening kill. How appropriate for him.
Even the HE placement back towards a short control is very good. Wonderful, down to 2 points of health. They don't know about the lurkout from long, though.
And Magix comes in with a kill on Taco, and Lato spams away, hoping to get a kill of the damage that him and his teammates have inflicted, but instead it's a 5v2 for the Spirit squad. dumau and coldzera locked out of the site, and most likely locked out of the round.
And it's such a shame because it seemed as if it was a very good attempt for Tried to get aggressive to the top mid portion, the work with the counter utility, to have the HE placement down to the side, but just being crunched in. The double kill continuous by Patsi. And, I mean, we probably both wonder, Jay, are we going to get Patsi delivering again? He did it in the best of one. He's done it in the first map of the series. Now on Dust2, I'm convinced that we're going to get another good performance out of Patsi.
It's definitely been his day, most certainly in that front. Starting things off with 3 kills in this particular pistol, looking for the quadra perhaps against dumau. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he went hunting for the man. Either way, it's the pistol start for the Spirit side. On T side, they will kick things off. 00Nation down to ecos and 4 spies already.
Just knowing, coming into this tournament, Jay, coming into today, they hadn't played an official in 41 days. They're looking pretty much ready, I'd say, knowing that you took a best of 1 over complexity. The way that they've started against the 00Nation squad, you can maybe say, well, they haven't played a European squad yet, and that's something that they'll have to look at as the group stage rolls on, once they're able to come through here on Dust2, which obviously they'll expect to be the case. 4 spy for the Brazilians, a lot of presence over to B site from both teams.
coldzera is Deagle leaning in, catching Siren at least, that's 1 pick. Chopper jump facing with the Mac 10 though, gets it back to a 4v4 instantly. Magix could also get tagged up quite significantly. Try finds a kill up towards top mid there, Patsi down, a 4-on-3 scenario. The teams hold their own.
This is looking very promising right now for the Brazilians. Spirit find themselves without much map control, down by 1, and Magic's incredibly low. This is not going to be easy to recover at all. Lato's playing out to the long control all by himself. This is definitely a round for the taking when it comes to the round 2 break.
They found their way in. Obviously need to work a little bit harder in terms of bringing it back. Spirit probably could clap back on a 4-spy of their own right, and the round itself is not done yet.
That is very true. Get that notch smoke forward for Chopper. Start thinking about drawing one of those fights out into the open. Exploiting themselves up to try to get some of that short control. There is still quite a bit of util on the pouches. And it's going to be the first man to try to defend up the A site itself.
Flashes forward. Tries scout, lands on Chopper's head, sends it rolling down towards elbow. A 4-on-2 as he gets wonderful as well, and he won't need the headshot on Magix. Lato will prove that with a body shot as we go 1-1.
And that's exactly what they're looking for when it comes to the 4-spy, bringing mass players over towards that B site very early on, allow that damage to rain through, and then try just holding with that scout with a teammate, doing so much damage. And this is what we want to see from the young man. We know how successful he was in the opening best of 1, got glimpses out of it when it came to the first map of Vertigo, but Dust2, this could be the opportunity to really turn it around.
Quick plays might come through from Spirit though. Glock's pulled out, harsher eco, and looking for the bomb plants, the nades set in by dumau. Doesn't do that much damage, and now sees the massive CT players. Now to rotate with coldzera's triple. USP pulled out against Patsi, might even get the quadra here. And he does get overwhelmed by that 1 Glock, but dumau quick to trade back and respond to the second. So bomb plant not found, and therefore there shouldn't be much of a buy in the next round.
And what's going on? Is there a meta that we're just missing here, Jay? That teams on double eco status just aren't forcing? We saw it from 00Nation out in the last map, and now we've seen it here for Spirit on Dust2. It's very uncharacteristic.
Spirit with a force invest. Spirit into the upper tunnels once again. Not quite the rush tactic here in round 4. They tried that in the previous, got ripped apart. Guns in for the Spirit's side. Damage done to Magix and Siren initially. Small prods here and there, nothing major.
Even coldzera's got to try and put down that lockout defense, put the incendiary through. A lot of pace, drop that bomb. The lineup is so good for damage.
Did so much to Chopper and wonderful, but Siren and Patsi have the entrances locked out. Dumau and Lato dead to rights on the site, backed out towards Longhouse as well. A 4-on-2, the bomb should get picked up and planted. There's plenty of time to do so. You can already see Taka rotating away towards the mid control. He wants to save, and Try will try and join him, but that backstab can still do so much here. Patsi's continued to press on. Try will put him down Siren, and Patsi will also drop a 2-on-2 situation. And are they leaning back into this? The HP is so low for 00Nation. They've got to get out of there.
Very good attempt from that backstab out from Car, but you're right. Retreat. No point going for this at all. Hang on. What is happening?
Oh my god, they're doing it? This is silly. This is not a good idea. Taco had 1 point of health. Dead to the hands of Wonderful immediately. They should have saved the weapons. As it stands, it will be 2 on the board for the Spirit side. Yes, tanked a lot of damage, but got an upgrade M4 in the process. Even hunt the AK down. You see Wonderful is on track to catch off Try. I don't know what the thinking was on that retake there for the CT side. That was a very nonsensical in my eyes.
I agree. I think saving in the 2v2 would have been a very good option, because you even think about the circumstances after that point. The idea that if you've got both Try and Taco staying alive, Try maybe drops an M4, Taco could drop an MP9, you maybe get one of the guys to buy himself, and you actually get a decent buy around it. Instead, you have to take it quite light. Can't really upgrade much at all, and for Spirit, this is the perfect opportunity to gain your lead.
Well, nades missed out. Landing inside the tunnels, not quite catching off the 00Nation side. A harsh eco around the AK that saved coldzera's Deagle. Being the only weapon to play with here. Taps on, Molotov trying to send him out of the dodge. Siren gets that kill, the B side's been opened up, the bomb plant should be secure. They've also got a late lurk in the tunnels itself for the T side. Patsi get overwhelmed by Try, the AK. Now a known entity, but shouldn't really be challenged here. Him at Dumau and Lato, or at least him, will try and rotate back. Lato will look for further exits and maybe catch a kill with the Zeus. But nothing you can realistically expect here.
And Dumau was hoping that he could get that AK in the upper tunnels. What he doesn't know is that as soon as he relocates around to the lower tunnels, unfortunately it's been taken by the Ts, and there's not really much of a way back in. Lato from T-Spawn hasn't quite seen Magix, and Try's going to hold on to that AK. So that's the main weapon, staying in play. The Spirit with the B hit being a lot more successful that time around. And even when we think back previously to the round where coldzera got 1, a lot of damage, it looked like it was shaping up, Jay, to be quite the lockout defense with so much being hit. But unfortunately, Spirit with the entries proved themselves not only on Vertigo's T side, but now here on Dust2's T side as just being a menace.
The lead being regained by the CIS squad. The rifles come back for the Nation. The AK in for Taco, of course, will stay. M4's on 3 in the AWP for Try. Yet to see the AWP out for Spirit. Not like I think it will matter, though. They've been doing well with the regular rifles. As mentioned before, Patsi, the top fragger in the last matchup. The top fragger in server right now can use Mac 10s and get away with triple sequences that they shouldn't do. So leave it to him to try to see what he can find. It's Patsi in the entry, in fact, towards mid.
Even Dumau does not have a flash. coldzera has to try peek Dry. It's one of the teammates from City Spawn that actually assists.
Well, Patsi just barely got spotted there. coldzera forcing him back. Taco going to try something and look for the trade. But through the door, the spam will not yield any particularly good results. Just damage done to Patsi down to 92 HP. Chipping away in the slightest amount. Nothing done to the T side. The same cannot be said for 00Nation, particularly on Dumau's part.
Even for Try, he's got the crossfire set with Lato holding down the long control. When there's a little bit more short presence and more util to be seen, he'll probably relocate up towards Car, put a little bit more of a defense towards A itself.
And the mid-walk comes through. coldzera and Taco on the crossfire. They get Taco, flashbang against Cold. They didn't spot him. The utility placement there was perfect. He will look to strike back and do some more damage, but still no kills for the Nation.
So much time. Spirit could just toy with them at this point, and it seems like it's going to be a B exec. And keep in mind, there's just no util for Dumau out of B or coldzera that could be the rotate to mid.
Mouse swinging up ahead of big box. Trying to spot, trying to catch vision or a kill or two. Utility thrown over, the smoke's down, and Molotov's in up close. Flash in, spray up, does so much damage, but dumau only gets away with 1 kill. coldzera has to do the rest of it. Only one of himself. A 3-on-2 for the Spirit side.
But this time around, they're not even looking for an exit, are they? They go, yep, we're out of that one. The Spirit. There was just so much distraction in that round. I think they prodded down the mid doors, what, 3 times, 4 times perhaps? So many opportunities where eventually they go down, they catch Taco off with a flash. coldzera is not really able to find that trade. And then just with the util usage and the trade ability continuing to go 1-for-1 against dumau and against coldzera on the site, they take B and get themselves 4 on the T side.
That's that 4th in for the Spirit boys. 00Nation. Guns might fester into a decent buy. The loss bonus doesn't look like it should mount up though, and upgrade pistols at best a half buy around these weapons for me.
It's a definite risk to force it down, that's for sure. Like you mentioned, money's just not really there, so I'm probably with you, half it. Don't get too much out of it. Very good long spawns in from Spirit. I haven't really seen that exploitation onto try as of yet. Just starting to get comfortable on the T side. Get a bit of a streak going.
And put the AWP in for the first frag out towards that long position. Flash in from Magic's got 1 man of Lato peeking in with the M4, put the smoke down, a counter flash to press that T side line so he won't get killed off early. Spirit fall back out. Completely concede the long challenge.
Even Taco just continuing to jump spot. As soon as he gets a boost up in those lower tunnels, that might be the opportunity in which to fire the HE. Try and get some decent damage down onto Patsi. It's something. Oh, double HE. Oh, okay.
It looked like it should have been closer, to be fair. 73 points of health again. He is more than fine. Boost up for try. Unawares of the T-side players pushing in. The Molotov will dismantle that boost. Send them packing.
Body blocked, so that would have been heard. Even the smoke down to try and split themselves into B. It's quite quick.
And swing forward, coldzera will be spotted. Player in window could be a bit of a threat to Mal. This is out some damage, but it's coldzera's Deagle to strike onto 2. That's a good shot. Siren overwhelms him, but dumau's left alone, and Siren will actually double up instead. So 3-on-3 recovered by the Spirit side.
This is promising. I actually wouldn't mind the CTs going for this. Wonderful's going to try and cut the rotates at the mid doors.
Probably gets fragged out as well. If he misses that first shot, especially the trade to be there. Swings in, sees what's going on, and gets spammed down by the bullets of the M4 and the AWP connecting his kill. Siren with a counter backstab, but he's got to be quick about this. Chopper's on 26 HP and a solo defender of the sites.
Just need to try and hold, waste as much time. If this backstab comes in successful, Siren's going to end the round.
Oh, holding back for Chopper. Utility thrown in. Siren's got a swing. Siren gets 1 on try. 2-on-2. Backs a turn. But they're in the site. And Chopper's down. Bomb could just be held in the defuse kit. No, they haven't got a kit. Actually, they haven't got time. They spent too long going for the retake. And the Nation will get all 5 kills. But they will not get the 3rd round.
That's a good half buy. You got to remember, they saved on to an M4 and an AWP. They've recovered 2 AWPs, and of course, everyone's fallen. So trying to target that T-side economy, need to rebound though. coldzera with a couple of beauties with that dig. That second shot coming through from Magic's. Siren doing his best to open up the bomb side. And really, his play on that backstab wasted just enough time, and especially with how passive you saw Chopper towards the back of the site, it meant that Taco couldn't get on that bomb directly, and now they take their first tactical.
One out of many I could imagine over the course of this map up. They used the majority of them over the first map. Still chasing from the back foot, but showing that they have got decency here. A much better fight being held on Dust2. The economy not allowed to spiral out of control here for the Spirit squad. But they have their rebuy back in for round 8. Similar story for the Nation, though, with the double AWP setup on coldzera and try.
That is very interesting, because one of the dynamics that used to be quite known from the Godsent team was that a lot of players used to be able to AWP. Used to get a bit out of dumau, used to get Lato doing some AWPing. So it's actually the 2 OG members here of the 00Nation squad that are going to try the double AWPs.
Flashes forward, Patsi forcing the issue. M4 of Lato spotting and spraying, dishing out some damage to Patsi. Smokes to the cross, will try and get out of dodge here. The bullet hell raining in from the entire long taker Spirit.
If he was at car, he would have been a goner, that's for sure. Gets out of that one quickly. Now, 00Nation have actually taken the approach on getting aggressive in those upper tunnels, search for quite a lot of information, so they'll know, as of right now, it's pretty much just a long take, and that's it.
Look at the ready. Or watching in from mid and from the short control, so both the main entryways are cut off. The Spirit side, it's all about the long control. Smokes down. Here they come. Magic's first man in, trying to hop past it. Lato, default, flashed off blind. I think he's barely been seen. Magic's only dishing out the damage though. Maybe he's not been seen in the midst of that smoke. Try provides a bit of support with the AWP frag, and Lato continues facing top of the short boxes, looking for Patsi, but Patsi finally finds the man. 4 on 4. He burns though. Taco with a kill to an advantage for the nation.
They want to get that bomb down, set themselves up for the post plant. Very defensive, and Taco gets caught rotating in towards CT. That brings it back to a 3-on-3. And keep in mind, Jay, double AWPs on the retake.
Not ideal weapons for Try and Cold. I don't know if there's any dropped out that short position. One CT that I think fell in CT spawn. Wonderful, and Siren watching Nation taking their time with this. Smokes down to the headshot position over at the short position. It's wonderful with his kill. Siren following suit on dumau, and Cold Zero is now forced to save.
Bit more of a glimpse again of Wonderful. We haven't seen much from him in the first map, haven't really got too much here to the second. But in that round, Jay, they need a bit of a playmaker. They're down in the 3v4, they haven't got the bomb planted. And what does he do? Aggressors, fights towards city spawn, deals with Taco, and then just wastes time, allowing that post plant for him to get a second kill towards their elbow position, and the short players coming in. Of course, get some assistance from Siren on the side directly too. But that's an excellent round from Wonderful.
Sick stuff. Well, 6 on the board of Spirit. The Nation can't afford to rebuy the double AWP setup. Only one will stay in for a try this time. M4 is a standard. Spirit with their own standard buy. Initially tanking the damage on Patsi's part. I think that was a nade thrown up there. Either that or the late shot from Try's cross. Lato caught out in the open by a flashbang, killed off by Magic. That's already the long control gained.
Flash assist just being perfect. Lato can't see a thing. Taco's thinking about repositioning. No one gets down towards that pit control, so not being exposed out into the open. And just similar signs, Jay, to what we saw in Vertigo with these opening man advantages on such a consistent basis too for Spirit.
Hold the line, stay passive at the 5 on 4. Nation will try prodding towards the tunnels now. You can see Cold Zero on that mini-map starting to make a move in to check that there's no B aggression. There is a player holding outside of tunnels. Patsi, the fight on hard if he wants to gain that control. Instead, Spirit want to commit to the A hit again.
Now, Patsi's hoping that that late lurk out into the upper tunnels will get forced into the open. They're going to boost the AWP up towards the elevator position. There's actually an AWP holding, though. That's wonderful.
Oh, shot from Magix. Connects the kill, Try down, 5 on 3. Taco flashed off twice, Siren's going to check it. Headshot, perfect. As Taco had to adjust, Siren did not. And dumau and Cold Zero now know that the round is over. Plant secured.
Lurk on B.
5 on 2. There is a lurk on B as well for the backstab. So exit frags for Patsi. Gets the shot onto dumau, returns the favor. Cold Zero now alone.
Can we come up with a reason of how many times Spirit have been able to get frags on low HP players? How in Patsi again? He's on 21 points of health. The frag is coming towards him, and he still wins it. He might even win this one. Oh, close to.
You jinxed it, Dwight. That was all your fault.
41 HP. He's a goner. They're going to hunt him.
Swing out from Chopper at 100, and, well, Wonderful also at the peak in. So it got a little bit like dicey there for Chopper especially, but ultimately the round comes together. But you're right about that. Like, the lower HP potential, those should be easy picks for the 00Nation. But over the course of both Vertigo and Dust2, it's not been quite as simple as it might seem. Spirit. I think it's down to the fact that it's just such great talents on that side. Like, we always talk about CIS individuals and how sharp they are. To be that quick on the trigger, to land the perfect headshots and the perfect peaks at the perfect times, it's just skill.
Individually, they're on today. They absolutely are. And we've seen it on such a consistent basis. And even the util placement has been very flourishing out here on Dust2, especially with these log takes. So many times we've seen the Brazilians just struggle, being completely flashed off angle. And now down into another eco. And unfortunately, these last handful of rounds, Jay, all we've seen is buy eco, because this streak is now 6 in a row, perhaps even more.
Spirit have not let up for a while. And you're right, it is 6 in a row for this T-side line. Taco made at the ready. That down towards the T-side line. Will catch Siren for 48. None of his teammates, though. Molotov's going to burn him back at elbow, try to force him out position. Needs that headshot. And to their credit, the Nation Deagles have been fantastic. Taco and dumau striking and adding to Cold Zero's impressive moments. The bombs on site, though, should get planted here.
Not an easy 3v5 at all. Try and work around the util. They want to try and force Taco out into the open. They want to slow this down, but getting a bomb plant's going to be important. Otherwise, they might just be swarmed on the sides. 40
seconds, and wonderful is prodding the Molotov in for Taco's position. He should burn. Smoke in, does not quite reach him all the way. He escapes towards it. Magic saw him, though. Gets his frag back. 30 seconds, the bomb's going to go down here.
Another smoke towards that short position. That's going to cancel. 00Nation either need to just pop flash through it or just wait behind.
Handoff, wonderful to an extent. Flash away, 1 and not quite 2, but it doesn't matter. Magic's and Chopper have it covered. Try left alone towards the short control. Deagle in hand, jumping to make some noise, and now call the attention of Chopper here. Magic's reveals his head, but doesn't get the headshot against him. Chopper will get the kill instead, and it will be 8 to the board, the half gained by Spirit.
And do you think it's a bit wild, Jay, that the rounds that we're giving the most potential on are the ecos? Like, that doesn't normally happen. The way in which we think about, okay, how do chances come through? Normally, we're talking about the rifle rounds. But when we think about 00Nation, the first round that they won was a force buy. The second one was the complete Glock round. And then everything after that point, the rounds that have seen the most success, or at least close to, have been the ecos.
Oh, fast play in against the rifle. 00Nation might not expecting this. Indeed, Patsi's Mac 10 already overwhelms dumau. Try can get wonderful in the trade. Seeing the man out towards car, and smoke goes down towards the doors. Flash in to try get out towards the window. The Molotov will burn him out of dodge, but Try does find Magic's on the way out of the sights.
Excellent shooting coming through from that AWP. And now for 00Nation, they want to try and see if they can fight some more.
Patsi, I thought he was going to get flashed in. That Molotov will extend just a little bit outside of the site, not towards... Oh, it does actually burn Patsi to 2 HP. That's a bit disconcerting. Now nades in, flashes over, Cold Zero gets Chopper. It's a low HP Mac 10 and Siren on 100. Now Siren alone to find Cold at least. Start things off on the right foot. The CTs will come charging in, but they're feeling the kills. The Molotov down on site. Should extend to the bomb plant position. He's looking for more. Trizorp will land it, but I think with the kit in play, he should have enough time for the defuse. Bringing in number 3 for the CTs.
Try. We want to see more of that. That was an excellent approach out to that window position. Because you think about that initial round, it's a B-side XE. It is a send, a full-on rush over to there. And for Try, he gets a very good connection on the first, even a quick flick onto Magic's, and just keeps peeking in. He finds so much impact in that round.
Well, Spirit might have won the half. It doesn't stop Nation from dishing out some damage and holding a decent fight here.
Again? Okay.
We're stalled by that Molotov, I think.
Yeah,
they
I
might
reckon
pick
so
it back
too.
up as soon as it fades, honestly. Smoke's down, here they come. Yep, indeed, it will be fast out the gate for 2, who Try lines up. Siren and Magic's down. Advantage gain extended by 2 by Nation already.
It's the same outcome. 2 BXs in a row, both with a lot of acceleration, and both times Try has been the man of the mission. Patsi hoping for some over-aggression towards short, out towards the mid doors, and at least they catch off with an AWP duel.
Catch Cold Zero next in Cubby, but no, Patsi looking the wrong way, dead to rights. Advantage lead regained here by the Nation in this round of 4-on-2 scenario. 2-man advantage. Within the context of that. Now, I don't know why Spirit have picked up the pace all of a sudden and why they're just committing to going super fast into these rounds, because in the previous 7-round streak we saw from them, it was still a case that they were just playing slowly and they were working with that so well so far. And in my personal mind, it's the case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So why do they fix it?
Yeah, sometimes in-game leaders have the idea, Jay, that if you keep running something so many times, even if it is working, you want some adaptability, you want the change-up, and maybe thinking that there's some light util, that there's not as much defensive being played out on B early round. That's why they've decided to go for 2 quick plays. Well,
neither of them have worked, so for Spirit, it might be a case of returning back to standards. Molotovs in. I don't think that's going to reach Taco here. Flashing instead to get the kill on Chopper. AWP of Wonderful now left to save with 7 seconds on the clock. No access to the site. No way of getting this bomb plant here. Let's hold his nerve, hold his position, and try and see if he can avoid getting killed off. Looks like he'll be pretty successful on that front, so it should be fine. Okay. That did get a little bit dicey again. Too close for comfort on Spirit's side.
Jeez.
Jesus,
what a
try.
He's
what
not even
start,
watching me.
Yeah.
We like that. Definitely so.
Perfect timing.
Absolutely. And knowing that there's no smoke down to the doors, that's obviously going to make the shot a little bit easier. Wonderful thinking down for the early dive. Smoke out to the cross. So no vision being caught. A lot of CTs actually going out to contend the longhouse early on.
So expecting a long play or a long fast play. Having seen 2 fast B plays coming in from Spirit. But no, back to the passive default for the T side. This was working before, so they'll revert to it now.
Even Taco trying to get back in towards the mid control. Now you know that A's been taken, so we can start spreading off the defense ever so slightly. And you're right about the passiveness. Get it to a quiet situation where they found so much success in the first half. Because if they continue with this sort of pacing, you've got to imagine double digits is very likely at the turn of the half.
I'd say so. 3 rounds separate the 2 teams for the time being. Nation want to try to close that to a single round difference, not allow Spirit any control of double digits, and they're going to do well for this round to try and put that goal into position. 2 kills found, no trades gained. Wonderful swings, and the shot misses as Taco follows suit.
And now Chopper and Siren trying to work off one another. This lurk out to the upper tunnels has got to clear out the left-hand side. There's actually an entryway into B now.
I want to get the next player up in window. Taco not seen. He is now. Siren, burst up, taps through. The man has been seen. Now he's got a challenge for a directive contact. Molotov in to try driving back. A flashbang also evaded. He might swing towards the doors. Second flash from his teammate, so perfect. So the bomb can't cross easy. 20 seconds. Spirit are being pressured as well from the back. Lato making his move up. Siren trying to prod. No smoke to the B door cross either. Chopper has got a swing. Headshot not gained. Cold Zero with a kill. And Siren will get 1 pick back. Taka responds to him the same. That's 5th to the board of the nation.
And we've probably been looking at this Brazilian side over the course of the series and thought, okay, who's going to be the playmaker? Who's going to be the difference maker in this sort of an affair? And it seems to have been Try in these last few rounds. That's another fantastic opening AWP kill from him. And from that point onwards, they just work off one another. You feel as if the walk towards B in a 2v5 is always going to be really difficult to bring that round back. And finally, they've targeted the economy so much that Spirit actually forced down onto an eco.
I mean, it does help that they just found 3 rounds in a row, all of which looked pretty confident, one of which included a save call from the AWP player, so a lot of that money that they had has just disappeared in a puff of smoke. Chopper, similar story, dead to the hands of Try up top mid. No puff of smoke there to try and block him off the Xbox, so easy pickings. What should be an easy CT round as well.
And when we think back to that Valencia result, where there was 8 rounds in total, started on the City side and managed 4 rounds. So even if you compare the pair, this is looking a little bit more positive for the Brazilians today.
Yeah, far better Dust2 than we've seen from them in the past. All in this CT side, though. Wonder if that will change at the turn of the half itself. Spirit trying their hand at one more bomb plant, 1 more round. Siren will get that 1 pick back on Cold Zero. Going to evade Try the same. Him and Patsi alone towards the execution. Taco on site. Lato over towards that long control. Deagle's in for both players. Will they catch the headshots at the right time? Nays decent. Providing a bit of cover for the T side, honestly. But the kills line up for Taco. He gets them both. Brings in 6.
Just start to see that scoreline really close between the two. And this could be what we have to imagine the first time that Spirit have been tested in this entire best-of-3, these last handful of rounds. Now the opportunity to keep it positive towards the end of the half and not let a complete streak annihilate them towards the end after they'd worked so hard on T-side to even get an 8-2 scoreline.
It has started to come back for the nation for now. Spirit with 1 final gun buy into round 15. 1 chance to close out the half on a high note. Look towards their more positive CT side of things. Taco leaning in closer towards that mid door, but not going to extend around it here. Hold the cubby corner Wait for them to wrap in.
A matter of patience when it comes to the early start of this round. Taco is receiving some of the utils, so we'll have to get forced out into the open. Chopper is not actually leaning further into the fight, so just retreating back to CT spawn.
Counter util there from Taco will put the nade up to drive them back, and the incendiary to stop them from progressing in towards that mid-doorway position. Orp of Tri-Thick, and there might be a short play, and indeed there could be one here. In fact, all the T's are stacked up there, and he's the only player to really defend the site.
They'll have to put a lot of util down towards him, get those cross smokes out and the flashes over the top. Last thing they want to do is give Tri any opportunity to strike first. They've got to do as much in their power to force him away from this rat position.
Decent flash to stop them. Incendiary to get behind that smoke. One player dives into CT. Flashes go over. Taco struggles against Patsi, but comes out on top in the end. Dives back in towards CT, though. Going to try and hold himself passive behind the smokes. As Tri almost gets another collateral, but only gets Siren instead. Repeats on Chopper above the wall. His second kill in the round. Finally put down by Magix. Him and Wonderful to continue the aggression, grab that bomb and get the plant.
Got a lot of room to work with. It's what happens after that fact. You can see the way that 00Nation are regrouping towards a short position and starting to put the pressure on.
Taco down in spawn, shots ringing out, the AK overwhelmed, and the Orpa now with it all to do. 10 seconds, doesn't land his first flick. Does land it on the second kill. See where Taco's inbound from, but has no idea of dumau. Sneaking outside of his periphery, getting the pick back and making it as close a half as you can here between 00Nation and Spirit. 8-7, we go to the second half after the break.
Yeah, they done told me to be myself. So when I went and found myself, the ones who told me back then, be true to who I am, ain't think we was really gonna win. Now they watching us from the sidelines while we trying to victories like we in high tides. I'm getting my prize, only thing my eyes is locked in on. $500,000 mine. I want it right now, don't waste my time. Family in a penthouse with a view sky high. Blood, sweat, and tears bring water to my eyes. Cause the whole gang winning, I done gave my life. Odds low, but we did it, ain't we? And we always move in, never on the same thing. Now our lives are highlight reel. We like the thrill. This life's ideal. The hype is real.
We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids.
A trying test for 00Nation as they try and apply themselves on Dust2, the Spirit map pick. And ultimately, it was Tri, the man that led them into the second half with a single round behind the Spirit side. What an effort it was to bring it back to Egg, and he deserves a lot of credit for me.
Indeed he does. When you think back to the first best of one against Astralis, putting up 24 frags. When you think back to Vertigo, where we didn't see much from him at only 8, he has bounced back and resurged here on Dust2. And we've got to keep watching out for him, but maybe Patsi, because he's got the Julies in lower tunnels.
So ready for coldzera as well. How much is he going to get? This one frag charge forward to get a second, perhaps? Utility thrown on towards that B site. Siren's there to receive it. Has Chopper on the outskirts of the site itself. No kits in for the retake for Spirit. The stand and fight. See what they can find. Try. Caught up with his back turn as Chopper lands on both. coldzera does find Patsi at least and pick up those Julies. Immediately fall back out of dodge as the main T side force continues the attack. 2 players backside. 1 player off site. 1 player in from tunnels. Wonderful is caught off by the Julies again. A 3-on-3 turn to 2 by Magix and his efforts on the site defensive itself. The bomb has committed. Back behind the cast in the blocks. Finding Siren just at the edge of that smoke. Needs to get the next 2 players, but they're suppressed. The smokes will start to clear here, and Chopper and Magix will start to prod forward, looking for Cold, looking with dumau. They know what dumau is, but coldzera swings, gets his triple with the USP pulled out. Magix needs to make a 1-on-2 happen, and he's not going to make it happen at all. Quadra for Cold. What a step up for him.
Without a doubt, that is a crazy round in from coldzera, and it comes down to the B-side Xe being in a position where you can't cancel. You've already sent the bomb in, it's stuck towards that car position, and coldzera was just a lurk in that round. He was the guy holding down the stairs, wanting to cut the rotates out for the lower tunnels, and as soon as he picks up those Julies and eventually goes over to the USP, he just finds so much damage, cutting out everyone in that round for Spirit.
Pistol round gained by the Nation. Spirit right back into the force buy as you would expect. Long control completely conceded though. 2 players up in tunnels will start to walk and recognize that nobody's out here for the T side line. So with that utility placed out with the bullets firing from dumau, they'll know that there has to be something out here towards the A side. It's probably most likely the entire T side force.
We saw that in the first half there was some back and forth nature with the opening couple of rounds. Let's see if that continues. Wonderful, just trying to see if he can hold that crossfire. Chopper trying to get some damage, but gets deleted straight away.
Wonderful, also tagged up by Lato, continuing his extension of 17 HP on that scout individual. Magix's SMG standing up close and personal. What can he find? Well, a decent dink onto Taco, but tanking damage of his own right to 2 points of health. It's not looking good here for the CT side as Magix gets overwhelmed. And the 00Nation hold their own.
Brazilians really coming into their own these last couple of rounds. And now for Patsi, well, he's pretty much stuck. He has to keep fighting. There's no way that he can retreat down the spawn without being seen.
And caught off by Taco, and his MAC-10 got like 3 dings in there. Siren with the burst up towards top mid, not getting a single pick for himself or for his team. All 5 alive for the 00Nation side. 10-9 on the board. They are looking to claim the lead here from Spirit. And I wonder where this goes. This throws our expectations for the second half completely out.
Definitely does, especially when you consider the fact that it was 8-2 for Spirit and it's now been 7 rounds in a row. Yeah, context is important, that they broke the economy a couple of times and we've only just got into that second half of the pistol and the anti-force buy conversion. But as of right now, this is looking very promising for the Brazilians, and I'm keen to see if the T-side continues the way.
Flashes forward, MAC-10, burst and spray for Taco, Lato, and coldzera get the 2 players down towards the bottom of mid-control. Wonderful and Patsi dead. Chopper down to 7 points of health, so this eco goes about as well as ecos go. 00Nation just mopping them all up.
Great to see coldzera really getting into the mix, because I don't think we saw much from him in that best of one against Astralis. We definitely did not see much out of him when it came to the first map, but right here on Dust2, he's consistently been edging his way towards the higher end of the board, and now these last few rounds he's really exploded when it comes to some of the kill counts. To the difference, Spirit now on the Wildfall round, and knowing that they got the AWP in play, this is where they've got to put their foot down. This is where Spirit got to say, right, we're the favourites in the series, we've been the better team, we've given them a bit of a streak, now we've got to respond. Now we've got to start our own.
Galil's in still for the Nation side. Spirit have all their primary guns, but Try's AWP is going to beat Wonderful's AWP. Start things off again for the T's.
Try has just been really handling these AWP v AWP duels very well. And even Chopper trying to see if he can look over the top of that smoke. Try might decide and see if he can multi-frag. Even coldzera's putting a bit of a press down to A.
Throwing nades, having them thrown right back by Patsi. Siren and Chopper holding onto the B side as Patsi does find that trade. So there is something available now for the CT Force. There's a 4-on-4 regained.
They needed that. They needed a slightly aggressive approach. Now, Patsy's not hanging as aggressively as when he actually took that fight, so it means that Tri can take a lot of this map control back. It's leaning in towards being an A split, and as of right now, it's a bit more of a lean with the stack for Spirit over to B. You've really only got one A site defender of Magic's.
Back at Goose, he's waiting in the corner. Flashes over as Taco finds the headshot. Once again, regains the advantage for the Nation and also takes away all of the A defensive.
Can't really see much of a way back into this round. Even Tri is going to try and contest the short position, slow it down with a smoke. This has got to be a save, surely.
Wrapping in towards long control, indicating they're going to go for some sort of backstab. They try their hand again towards the short control, and I could see where it would get shut down for the Nation. But you can see how Patsi rotates away from the B site, and Spirit don't like their chances anymore, so they will save those weapons, give up 11 to the Nation side. And I honestly didn't believe that they were going to bring anything back on the T-half. I thought Spirit were going to run away with this with the pistol or the rifle round. But there is some fight being held by Cold, by Tri, by the entire T side.
And this is very much what 00Nation is sort of made of. That idea of, okay, we've struggled with the results. Let's make a big change. Let's bring over a new coach, a new analyst, 3 new players, new in-game leader. Let's try and shape it all up again and come through with a fresh start. And while they didn't quite find that at Valencia, perhaps this is the best of 3 to do so. Again, winners best of 3. Whoever wins this in this circumstance is going to go straight into the group stage. And while you might be getting completely ahead of yourself and saying, well, you know, still a map down and this is Spirit's map pick, it is 00Nation proving themselves for the first time in this series. And for Spirit, this is becoming one hell of a challenge. This is not easy like it was on map 1.
Their first tactical use as a result to assess the situation and figure out how they get back the lead and close this out in 2-0 fashion. Because that's what you mentioned, Dwayne. Nation proved themselves here in this second map because we looked at Vertigo, we saw how decimating that was at the 16-5, and we thought, well, it's over, boys. Sorry, thanks for coming, but there's no way you fight back against Spirit on Dust2, and apparently there is a way you fight back against Spirit on Dust2. They've slowed down. Look at the numbers across some players there for the Spirit side. Chopper in particular, 5 frags for him so far in this matchup. And remember, he was the guy that was peeking in on 1 HP and getting triples in the rounds entries, and it's like, well, now you just got 5 rounds, or 5 decent frags so far in this matchup. Magic's also a single digits. Wonderful, similar story on the AWP. Spirit just not mounting up to the Nation challenge.
We'll need a little bit more X factor in this second half, that's for sure. A little bit more team cohesion after the back of that tactical. Magic's just jump spotting for any contact or information played to the longhouse. Got a teammate with him of the AWP with the bait, who's eventually going to hold the angle, which allows Magic's to reposition back to the site. And for 00Nation, they actually lose that first player out to the longhouse. That was the AWP holding the AWP jewel, and a lot of the time, Tri's actually won it on Dust2.
Flashes in towards that mid control as Spirit hope to jig themselves up. Wonderful. And was momentum to impart to Chopper. Smoke not going down. It's coming extremely late. Taco, as a result, going to get fought on by Siren. He will get that pick back. Flash turn away from or blind off the T-side players. Siren through the smoke finds dumau, and finally the capitulation has been forced out by Spirit.
Just shows how important that tactical could really be, Jay. They've come back in, and the crossfire's been locked out towards that B side. You won the opening pick towards the longhouse. And for Lato and Cold Zero, there's hardly anything to get regained. 30 seconds left on the clock. It's a lack of map control as of right now. They can try and strike their way back in towards a mid-take or out to long, but their chances are very minimal.
20 seconds on the clock. Just held outside a longhouse, not pressing forward, not rushing forward, means that they're going to save these guns. Very good round from Spirit. All 5 alive, not a lick of damage done either. So far better for Spirit to finally get their first of the half.
And that's got to put a smile on the coach of Hawley to go, geez, okay, it's probably been about time. We take the tactical and look what happens after it. Now it's about more consistency, though. You've ended the streak. It was a healthy 9 in a row. Nice AWP pick coming through from Wonderful, and then Siren and Chopper just playing off one another. The util usage being there, even the spam onto dumau when you saw the cancel finally come in. Taco's got a very good spawn to long, so he's actually going to try and see if he can get an opening pick.
Flash assist from Lato. Orp to lean forward. And not get a frag. Incendiary away from position. Keep his eyes out towards that mid control, but so far catch so little.
Now you start wondering how quickly Spirit are going to be able to tie up or even get that lead back. Lato expecting some aggression out from that longhouse position. We saw him being one of the more consistent elements out in that first map. Haven't seen a crazy amount from him when it comes to some of the lurks on T side here on Dust2. Trying to run down that clock. Spirit, not really anything aggressive. They've taken longhouse, and that's about it.
Capson bursts on for Dumau. Molotov sent in by coldzera. Extinguished on those flames with the smoke that was already out there. The notch smoke that won't really allow much. They work their way onto the short control instead. The AK tries to press. Doesn't see anything. Spirit are not that aggressive.
Even that lurk smoke going down from coldzera is going to indicate a little bit more counter utility. Lato actually gets naded up quite hard outside of that long control. He's down to 41 and actually forced to retreat to regroup to short with the rest of his teammates.
30 seconds on the clock. Taco leaning in, evades the AWPer. Patsi ready for him to appear through the smoke. Or is he? Turns away at the wrong moment. They back up and they face together. Patsi with his backstab though holds the double in the end. The AWP try brings it back to a 3-on-3 and the CTs hard rotate back into the A play. Bomb might be isolated, but now they're accounting for all the entryways here on the T side.
Even that HG doesn't deny the bomb for going down. Tries to alive.
AWP up close. Hunting for Chopper, hunting for Siren. We'll just barely see the pixel. Takes some damage as Siren swings alongside Chopper. Chopper falls to Dumau. And now backup rotates in from the long house and goes back into the short control.
They've got a molly. Put that down towards the site. That's just going to waste time. Siren's going to tap the bomb.
Or stick it. Or stick it. Oh, he's going for the off-voice to play! And he gets it as well! Sacrifice worthy of 10 for Spirit.
My goodness, I can't believe he holds that. I actually can't think in that 2v2 that he didn't just tap the bomb. He holds the whole thing. The molly goes through. The HE follows as well. And it's just not enough, is it, Jay? They needed more time on their side and Spirit have got away with an unthinkable round.
Fnatic called. They won their spray back. Patsi already doing damage towards mid as well. Try caught, Taco tagged. I believe that was a collateral tag at that. 5-on-4 start for Spirit, and now they really go in here. The start of the half, the end of the last. Very awkward from the CIS squad. But now it's all starting to come together again.
You're starting to feel the shift, aren't you? These last couple of rounds that Spirit are going to start knuckling down. They're looking for that one strong round, though, Jay. That's what they're really keeping their focus on. That one where a lot of players stay alive, in which you can start building the economy. Try and get more AKs being saved forward. Knowing that Patsi strikes out with the AWP. Very proficient in the double AWP sequences for this Spirit side. And now for 00Nation, how do you strike back here? Try and gain some map control towards short might have to be the next answer.
Molotov's up towards that short control. Cole trying to prod away at the CT line. It doesn't extend to Chopper, though, at the other side of the cover corner of the stairs. Flash in. He is blinded by that. Does get a dink off on Cole, and Patsi can trade that.
Out towards long. Magic's got a lot of info. He's got to try and stall.
For watching Taco out, spray down, catches Lato as well, can't get Dumau. That's what Patsi's there for. Adjustment with the AWP for a 3K to his name, and 11 apiece now on the board for Spirit.
And when we think about how AWP heavy Dust2 can be, how many teams love the double AWP approach on a map like Dust2? One of the first times it comes out, we see this. We see so much success from Patsi, and it's all traits. That's all it is for the last couple of kills. Magic's, of course, getting a couple of kills by himself without any util towards that longhouse. Deserves a lot of credit, but Patsi too. What a sequence from him.
Starting to wonder whether 00Nation have run out of gas already. Put the hard yards in at the tail end of the CT side to bring it back to 7, and of course getting the 4 to go to 11. But Spirit are back, and they look like they're in just as good a form as they were on Vertigo.
It's all about the shift now, and whether they can keep it up. 00Nation, you're probably thinking about someone like Try, someone like Cold Zero. Okay, get us a double entry, open up a bomb site. Let's give us an opening man advantage. Because those two guys have been the X factor. And dumau might even catch the AWP getting aggressive.
Patsi doesn't get the flick. He's got back up there, though, and Siren can find an instant trade. That's one AWP down. The second one of Wonderful, however, set into long, watching the house. The smoke's out towards the mid play. Will try to indicate a mid to B. Incendiary will stop it. And now Siren has got to focus on 2 attack points, both the B doors and here at the tunnels. 3 HP for Try, but 3 players packed up and ready. A re-smoke goes down for Siren. That's perfect.
That util, absolutely wonderful in that situation because it cancels. It means that for 00Nation, you've got to start moving away. You've got to think about that regroup out to mid, and that's where Chopper's going to spot the info.
Try almost caught dead to rights. He's lucky those bullets didn't connect. 3 HP, he would be a dead man. The Incendiary comes out towards the short position, and that denies any chance for Try to press the issue. Smokes on from his team, though. Nade perfect. Lands to do minimal damage, actually. Wonderful waits. Here looking to elbow the flick, not connecting. A reface on Taka, the flash over Magix and Chopper. They've got his back though. The M4's crossfire, the AWP lands on the next, and Cold Zero left as the last.
That util usage is just perfection. When you think about the way that for 00Nation, they end up finding themselves in an aggressive position. They've got a 4v4, they've got a 1-for-1 trade out into the upper tunnels. They want to have that quick stance. The HE placement's coming towards short. Okay, let's swing it. Let's go right back in towards the B side, and it's more utility. It's Siren slowing it down, and then out to the short control. There is flashes, there is HEs, there's another molly. So much good util there from Spirit.
Cold Zero pressing with the AK, the hero rifle in this one. Heard by Patsi, will call it into his teammates. Nade stack out to the long house. The pistols will try for the B execution instead.
Got to be quick, and for Cold Zero, he's got to pull as much distraction as possible. Got to try and see if he can strike with a kill, maybe even drop down towards CT spawn. He's the only one with a rifle here.
You play the backstab and try cut the rotations off from the long players. The second man will join the B site, and they'll leave Patsy's AWP watching mid. Flashes go in and over, smokes down, reflashes on, but it's all a ruse. Cold Zero's walk to the A site has seen no resistance whatsoever. He's about to, though. Chopper now close to the site, thinking he might still be on the short range. He has no idea how close Cold really is, but still adjusted a headshot anyway. 19 HP, now needs all the backup to get back in. He's seen them incoming. The bomb can commit, it can get planted.
Just need support. Just got to try and stay alive for as long as possible because CTs are on the way.
By gapping out smoke to utilize when someone extends. They're dead to Chopper's hands. He's desperate for that to come his way as well. Taco, however, detects through the smoke, gets his shot. Nades on him and Try, though, as Patsi leans in, USP out. Siren with a kill. Patsi overwhelmed. Wonderful's low. Magix is low. And the taps continue for the rifles and the pistols. But Siren with a double. Now to a 1v1. Where's the last man? He's on the rotate. In towards short. Could dumau get there in time? Can he get there in time? No, he can't. Siren holds the whole round in the palm of his hands and brings it together for Spirit.
Oh, no. No, that should have been the one. That was such a good overextension. Even Chopper staying alive, catching that info, brings the way back in. But then things get so uneasy. In the post plant, Lato comes through with a couple of kills. The Tech 9 for dumau, and Siren with the 1v3 just gets right back onto that bomb. Oh, that's heartbreak. That should have been the steal for the T's.
But it's not. It's a 13 for Spirit. At least they have the gun by the AWP for Patsi. Smoke's being sent down, Incendiary to stop the progress being made here. Cold Zero will not extend, but Patsi will re-aggress though. Is he going to find anything? Not quite. Flick missed. It's forced back even further.
He's trapped. He just has to keep fighting. Hope to get some support with some counter utility. Come through from mid. The T-Spawn player of Cold Zero. I should say that the T-Spawn player of Try was not able to find the connection. Cold Zero goes down to the molly. And now the AWP duel eventually comes through, this time for Wonderful.
dumau at least strikes back on the B site, trying to extend. Sees the one player over the window, but just can't adjust the spray. Wonderful gets back out of dodge. Nade's back on as dumau reveals him to be closer onto the site. And Wonderful thinks he might peek a bit as well. Swing back to the other whoop, and they both line up for dumau. Just like that, the Nation have regained control.
You might have to save here. 2v3, so out of position. The B-side's been completely opened up. And just for a moment when they line up, the absolute steal is there for the taking of those couple of individuals.
Prod towards mid to hope for a pick, hope for something to be lurking out there in the mid control, which they can punish. But no. Chopper grabs the AWP, rotates away to the save once again, with the money being where it is for Spirit with the utility. Lost bonus not building. This looks like it is back on for the Nation again.
I don't know about that one, Jay. This is going to be a force invest. You think about the economy state, you've got double AWPs in, you've got Siren on double eco status. They're going to buy it down. They're going to try and force it. This is still going to be a very difficult round to break against. And this streak, just when it started looking a little bit healthy, when it looked like it had enough behind it of 5 in a row, it's not to be. And you start wondering, what is the potential in this next round? What a sequence out of dumau, just when they needed something to open up B, after there was such a big advantage for Spirit to work with.
Wonderful, and Patsi had no idea. I honestly thought the shots ringing out from the side were indicating how close he really was, but clearly not. A tactical taking by the Nation. They're second in this matchup. I honestly thought they called a lot more in the first half. But here they are. A force buy is coming in. You mentioned that from the Spirit squad. But this could be the chance for the Nation to get damn close to map point.
And knowing that the core of this team has been changed 6 days ago, you brought in 3 new players, a new coach, a new analyst, and you're putting up this much of a fight against Spirit, the team that made top 4 at the major, the team that even gave FaZe a bloody good run for their money in that semi-final result, which almost could have actually gone the way of the CIS squad. And it's on Dust2. It's on Spirit's best map in the pool. This has got to be close. And they know how close some of these rounds are to the actual taking itself. Already the damage done to Siren.
And further context to what you were just saying there, after a 16-5 stomper of Vertigo for Spirit's favor, 00Nation's picking this series. The idea you'd go from that to now battling blow for blow on Dust2 really heated up for them. Chopper is 5-7 into the tunnels. Where does he position himself?
It's going to be a crunch. They're going to try and peek in from the upper B too. This could work out very well.
Wow, spotted. Chopper re-aggresses, but to his demise. His teammates push Wonderful with 1 frag. Cannot afford to stick around, has to fall back.
Comes down to the starts where the crunch doesn't really find enough. Patsy's got the angle towards long with the AWP though.
Oh, that flashing so good from Try though. Swing from Cold brings it into a 2-man advantage. The M4 watching with the smokes down to the cross, the incendiary and the nade. Shouldn't do much except for damage here. Certainly doesn't know the bomb plant as it even sails way too far out. Now they're forced to save.
And even the slight hunt from dumau, you thought for a moment if he hangs around the upper tunnels, might be able to put some further damage down to these last couple of players. And for Spirit, they can't force buy again. That was your opportunity in a round like this. It doesn't quite come through, so you have to eco. You play the hero AWP, you play the hero AWP with that M4 and think, okay, what can we get out of it? 13-13 though. And it's going to be a game of who's got the strongest economy. Who's going to be able to reset one another the hardest towards the end of this matchup. And knowing that Spirit are on the CT side, you've got to imagine it's probably them.
Well, I'd say 00Nation have the strong economy right now. At least the AWP of Wonderful gets an exit frag, tries to make it somewhat expensive, but the money line looks pretty healthy for the T's. You mentioned that Spirit will be down to eco status right here and now. If there is any investment, I'd be shocked. As you mentioned, keep the AWPs in. They brought down a smoke from Magics for a little bit extra utility defensive. That's fine. Not even upgrade pistols. Basics. USPs, the AWP and the M4. AWP going to get boosted up by the M4. Maybe not, actually try. This AWP does not lean forward. He does see the one man take a shot, chance to trade. Wonderful misses it.
Want to try and go again. They're trying to bait him forward. They want try to re-peek as many times as possible.
Oh, and this USP's been spotted there on the short position. Pat's going to get caught. Wonderful down to try. There's the AWP. Gone. Dead and buried in the mid control. 2-man advantage again for the Nation, and there's only 1 player left towards this side defensive. That's Chopper all the way out at Longhouse. He'll get rushed down and overwhelmed.
Got to imagine so. Even the bomb has got a sight line to go down from mid, to work out from short, molly out into the open, damage being done to Lato, but this is going to be an easy round. And for 00Nation, I'd actually like to see them put some hurt down on these last couple of players, Jay. Go for a bit of a hunt.
It would be ideal if they could do that, considering the fact that they'll lose the AWP and the M4 and the economy's still not fully stabilized. So those could still be important weapons for them. The money's looking great for the nation side. 4 players all remain alive. Not going to go too aggressive with the hunt, though. They've got players in tunnels and in mid that will cut rotations. They try and go for anything sneaky or last second. Held together with their weapons, though. Spirit will concede the lead back to the nation, 14-13. This is the opportunity now for them to bring in Dust2, and what a victory it would be for the Brazilians.
Give them a way forward into the series. Definitely look a little bit more positive going into that third map. The enemy P's going to get crunched down, though. Taco wants to try and peek from window.
And he gets his kill. Magix in the corner. He's held. He has to hold on for as long as he can. He's overwhelmed with the numbers game. That's all players down for Spirit. The AWP cannot get brought back into this next round. The economy just recovering to buy the M4s. So that's what will get brought down. And for Mars, for Magix, 2 of those key rifles in. Wonderful. Getting given the good grace of a tactical pause by that T-side line. Spirit. They are in trouble.
And it's surprising that we haven't seen more attacks from Spirit, knowing that they've been in the more uncomfortable situations. That idea that one of the M4s gets dropped that was trying to get saved in from Magix. You're down to now for Mars. You don't quite have all of the pretty util for everybody else. Of course, that AWP, like you mentioned, can't get brought back in. They do have a couple of kits to work with, but it is the lack of nades. Only 2 incendiaries across the board. And for 00Nation, they know this is on. This is on for the taking on the T side. 2 more rounds is all it's going to take. And this map has been so streak heavy in comparison to the last.
Saw it start off going back and forth initially until they found their 7-round streak on the Spirit side. Then 5 at the tail end of the CT half for 00Nation. Then 4 for their T side half start. 5 in a row back for Spirit. This is 3 in a row now for the nation. But it might come down to this, a small resurgence from Spirit towards the end of the game, or 00Nation to hard reset the economy state and force out map 3.
We've seen Chopper and Patsi clear out the majority of the upper and lower tunnels, so they're actually going to stack 4 players down on the A side. They're going to leave the IGL of Chopper aggressively in that upper tunnels play. Patsi's continuing to jiggle peek slightly wider towards short. He's still not seeing anything top mid, so the indication is it's going to be a long take. We need to defend ourselves.
Minute to the clock. Smokes that are ready for Magix. Flash in from his teammate to try to stall the T execution, which won't even coming through right now. It will start to come down with a smoke to the cross. Siren wins that fight against coldzera, forces Nation back.
They actually cancel. Very surprised about that one. coldzera peaks before those smokes go down. Now it's going to be the double pump, but it's allowed so much more time for Spirit to get perfectly positioned on the side directly.
Still got 2 more smokes to use to the cross, but they're going to crush the smokes actually clear in the first place. Flash in, Magic's going to get caught off guard as dumau and Lato chime in with a couple of decent picks. dumau swings on Siren to make it a double, and Spirit are out of there. It'll be map point on Dust2 for 00Nation. The step up we didn't expect to see here on the pick of the Spirit squad. And it goes 15-13.
Not at all. This is a massive eye-opener. And you just saw how strong those entries were after losing coldzera so early on to Siren deep at CT. From that point onwards, Magix couldn't find anything. Wonderful couldn't find anything. Siren could not multi-frag. And Patsi and Chopper have just got no other option but to hold hope that they don't get hunted. A lot of players being leaned over towards that B site, not out towards T-spawn as of right now. 15 on the board for the Brazilians. 1 more to go.
Two for Spirit to bring it back to overtime, but look at the money they have. Look at the buy they'll get. Not beyond a CIS force buy from working out, but just given what we've seen with the weapons and the true rifles, the AWP, the M4s. We'll see the buy return thanks to those drop weapons. That save is going to aid them most dearly. But already the AWP of the T side is struck.
Haven't seen the play out towards lower tunnels, and it's very aggressive. Dumau might have heard some of those footsteps, so he just starts retreating. They get the incendiary back towards the back of blue. Magics wants to put some pressure down towards long, but he's by himself, has to retreat.
It was a risky push. He went far too aggressive, having no players behind him. Eventually they will get backed up and they will start to lean into the A defensive, seeing nothing in mid, nothing out to the B site. It must be A, right?
Gotta think so. Lato trying to do his best on the entry, and at least for Spirit, they've got a lot of information again, Jay. We've seen them stack up these A plays quite frequently.
Molotov's in, Magic's smoke in hand. Utilize it when it's appropriate, opting not to extinguish the flames with that.
Very silent. And even for Magics, it's all about that first contact. Cold Zero is aggressive again like he was in the last round.
Smoke close, Magic's backed away. Molotov sent down by the CT side to try to stall the execution for the 00Nation. Gonna make that move in soon. Molotov sent down the backside. Magics will get forced to challenge. He somehow finds a way and an angle to work with. A kill to be found against Lato. A siren against dumau. And Magics gets two. Try returns fire. It's him and Taco. 2v4 situation. Looking for those trades to try to bring it back here for the T-side line, but they're getting tagged up so heavily and overwhelmed by Spirit. We're not done yet. Map 3 is not calling. At least not now.
Oh, Spirit. They want to try and bring this to OT, don't they, Jay? What a hold coming through from that goose position. And knowing how much time there was to work there for 00Nation, you thought, okay, they can slow it down. They could start that prod, get the trades forward towards ramp. But instead, that goose hold was so solid. And now for Spirit, when even you consider the buy that they had in the last round, and now the buy that they've got here in round 30, it's stronger. They've got an AWP, they've got an AK.
A tactical called in. The last one for the nation here on the T side. They still have a chance to close it out. Else will go to overtime. Final round of regulation. A lot closer than we thought it would be. Probably a lot closer than Spirit expected it to be. But they have their chance to recover their map pick. Dust2 sees the AWP in for Wonderful and for Try. Boost up to look down mid, seeing nothing on the T side.
Expecting some more aggression towards those lower tunnels, something that Spirit have liked in this second half. It hasn't come through in this round, though. And now for 00Nation, you wonder how the perspective of getting Try involved into the action is going to get rewarded. Out towards long, there's not really much presence at all. Just starting to clear out the lower tunnels in case there is that aggressive approach.
Flash forward, Try. Looking out of the short presence, Cold Zero. And him with the Molotov sent down. The T's taking this carefully, considerately, slowly.
And just knowing for Spirit, there's no one aggressive. No one up towards the top of short. No one aggressed out towards the upper tunnels at all. And Taco is working around the util, but it's being watched by Wonderful for the moment.
Turned away from Chopper now on the defensive line. Siren with him on the B side. He gets that one kill. Taco overwhelmed him. Siren needs that one trade desperately, but doesn't get it. Taco's entered a 4-on-3. They're tagged so heavily, but Spirit are down by a man.
This should be the one. This should be the closer. Tries in such a good position to fight off those rotates, and the lack of util's really going to hurt Spirit here.
As long as he gets a kill, it's probably good enough. Swing forward into the hands of the AWP. Try swings. Patsi trades it, and Lato now holds on the site. Re-smokes down. They're covering off rotates back from tunnels. So if Patsi and Wonderful are quick enough about this, they can still get into the site. But a swing comes through. Wonderful deals with Lato, and there's such low HP on the 00Nation side. They've got to get to the bomb right now. The spray's through. They're suppressed. Wonderful needs to get to the bomb right now. They're out of time. They're out of time, I think. Taco being held back. He gets the spray down and wins out the fight. 16-14. 00Nation take us to map 3.
Taco, God Taco, the IGL steps up when it matters the most. 4 kills on round 30 to send it to a third map, Jay.
We didn't think we'd be going to Ancient Spirit, stop them out on Vertigo, but somehow the Brazilians battle back as we head to the break.